Howdy do, ladies and gents. Howdy do. Just want to go over a little bit of today's price action. We opened with a gap up. If you turn on your regular trading hours, you can see where last settlement was, which is way down here, and where we opened. So there's a big gap up. A lot of points involved. Let me see what the gap is. From there to there, we're talking 462 point gap up. Okay, 462 points gap. We did trade into it just a little bit, not even to the 25% mark, and then we went up. I did mark, this should be purple. I did mark this as a potential bullish breaker after the last up close after that run on liquidity. We did respect it here, but the aim point up here was actually a daily candle high. And I would need to mark it, and we never took it. We got close, but we never took it. It's right there. We'll make it blue so we know that's the buy side liquidity. We'll go back to our 1 minute and check it out. Okay, so we got really daggone close to it. I was for sure we were going to take it, but we didn't take it. So the last attempt to take it is this one. That's the highest high of all this mess. The last down close candle before the highest high of all that mess is this. So this one would be our bearish breaker. Okay. There we go. So our bearish breaker. Now, we did trade down into it here, but no fair value gap. Then we poked up above it again. Then we pulled back again. We traded down through it with a fair value gap. Oh, what happened to my freaking chart? Come on. Come on, Topstep. Where'd my candles go? Well, son of a gun. Oh, here they are. Okay, they brought them back. They just moved them over. Okay, so yeah, we traded down, through it with a fair value gap, and then we wicked into it. And that was the highest we got for the rest of the day right there. Okay, so because this move up was so lackadaisical, not any fair value gaps at all, really. Maybe one. No, that's not even one. So none at all. I'm thinking the whole time we're going short, but I did think we'd take that high first. Wicked up into the breaker, left town. When you mark out bullish breakers and they get taken, that's a sign they get violated. It trades all the way through the bottom of the bull breaker. There's the bottom right there. That means we got more downside, and I'll show you that here in just a second. So this would have been our bullish breaker from this run up. And see how we pushed through the bottom of it with candle bodies? We went into the fair value gap. We tried to go back up, didn't get past the halfway point, and then we sold off for a little bit. 25% of the gap fill was all we wanted, and we came right back up to where? First presentation fair value gap, almost made it to the breaker. We sell short. I actually sold short right there, and my aim was 50% mark. But once we took this liquidity, now we have a potential bullish breaker again. See right there? We took this liquidity, this buy side, right there. We took it, and then we started trading back up. So now we got a breaker. When we start touching this breaker, could possibly go back up. Maybe go take out that buy side way up there. But really focus on how this looks, because this is what it looks like when this PD array fails. Okay, so we go up above the breaker, we come back down, we touch it. It should at that point leave town. Let me show you what a good one looks like. See that? We come down, we take the liquidity, we go back up through the breaker, we touch it, we leave town. We don't hang around touching it and touching it and touching it and touching it. So when you see that, be very leery that we're going to take a move to the upside. Make sure that you're seeing this type of action, not the chop. And I'll show you a few more examples of that on today's. And I got in on every one of them and was able to make $1,239. Okay, so we touch, we touch, we touch, we push through with fair value gaps. You're good to go short as soon as we break that bottom with a candle body. You can do that. We're going further south, and I was already aiming at halfway fill for sure, and then I wanted to reassess once it got there. So I actually did take a short here, and I was aiming for here, so I didn't get max profit. I think I was up a couple $100, and then it whipped up against me, and I just killed it for like $100 profit. But very, very important that you recognize and remember failure. In fact, I think I might screenshot this just to show when PD arrays fail. What happens what does it look like when they fail? The one up here, the failure was very similar as far, I mean, it just didn't even slow down when it got to it. So, but right here, very similar to the other failures you're about to see. So we went up, we touch, we touch, we touch, we touch, we fall through. Let's look at the next one. It's all the way down here. You could say this is one right here too. Look at that. Last down close candle. We ran the liquidity we ran right here was actually the gap fill. So it would have been the settlement price. We go back above, tiny fair value gap, big wick up into these. Did we leave town? We touched, we touched, we touched, we touched. We did not leave town. Sell short here. Where do we aim? End dog. This is where I was aiming right here. New week opening gap for April 7. Okay. And we don't quite make it to it. We have another breaker right here. We go through it. Little fair value gap. We come back down. We touch, we touch, we touch, we touch, we touch. We didn't leave town. We didn't leave town. And so then here it starts coming down. You think you're good to go short here for the push to the end dog, and it runs back up. Get you, but it doesn't go through this. So at this point, any of these run-ups, I waited for them to slow down a second, and I sold short. I only had a 25-point stop loss, so I wouldn't get burned if I was wrong. I definitely got burned on this 200-point candle, but I sold short right there, and now I made my money to the top of the end dog. This was only a $200 profit, a little bit more, I think $270. But when you see these PD arrays failing, it's telling you we got more downside. And they look just like that when they fail. So if you've bought based on it thinking, oh, this is my system, I'm going to hold to it, and you don't see it leave town like it did in that photo, be prepared to take a short. Take a short at the top of that range. You'll probably be just fine. I sold short. I stopped right here. I didn't like the way that candle did, and I didn't want to risk any more money. But technically, I guess we could call that one a breaker. Tried to get above it. More consolidation. Fell out of bed again. Had I traded a little bit longer, I would have targeted the bottom of the new week opening gap. Oh, here it is for April. There was two. There was one back in January and then one here, which you don't necessarily need the January one on your charts, although it did react to it just a little bit there. So, yeah, we went all the way down here. Here would have been a nice breaker, except that's the last up close candle. We never got back down to it. There's no opportunity to get in there. So, and that's the end of the day as well. So, yeah, I hope that helps. Remember to be kind to yourself. Be kind to one another. And I will post a picture of these failures because they're all the same. Look at it. This one, consolidate, fall out of bed. Consolidate after we push through the breaker now. We push through the breaker, we consolidate, we fall out of bed. This one had a pretty good push. Took out those highs. Came back down to the breaker, consolidate, fell out of bed. Not quite fall out of bed. Took that high again and then fell out of bed. But this little setup right here, if you're thinking, oh, we're going long from here, and you see that, get the hell out of the trade. Don't even stick around. Good short right there. My strategy here lately has been don't hold the position more than a couple of seconds. If it hadn't hit your thing in 30 seconds, get out. I mean, take $50 if that's all you can get. Take $25 if that's all you can get. Just get your money and get out, because these 200 wick candles, 200 point candles happen frequently right now. Nearly every one of those consolidations ended in a fall out of bed situation. None of them went up. Not a single one. All right. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to one another. Love each and every one of you. Until next time, trade well.